absolutely buzzing, down on the banks of the River Severn, and I'm here to meet Des Taylor. I've never fished this river before, but it does a lot of good fish nowadays. Des has fished it for many years, he's caught an impressive amount of fish, and I'm going to wander down here now, catch up with him, see how to fish the river, and hopefully get a few fish myself. Good morning, Des.
How you doing?
I'm good. You?
I'm fine, mate, fine.
Well, how's it going? Catching them?
I ain't even cast out. I've been here sort of half an hour, Alan, and I haven't cast out yet. And I think that's one of the biggest mistakes made, and probably one of the biggest lessons we can learn today, is that if you go in too early, you might catch a fish, but you might wreck the swim.
And I'm guilty of this, for sure.
I think a lot of people are. When you've been working all week, you want to get down to the swim, you want to catch fish. But if you put it like this, imagine a field full of rabbits. Those are your chub and your roach and your dace. And at the end of the field is a deer. Right? That's your barbel. You want the deer. You want the deer. But you ain't going to get the deer if you start shooting the rabbits. Right? So we ain't got to disturb the rabbits. Let's get straight to the deer. So let's keep the rabbits happy. And the deer will come in the field. And we'll get the deer.
Perfect.
That's what we're going to do today. So I shan't be casting out for another half an hour. I can show you another swim.
Let's have a wander. Let's have a look. Oh, this is lovely, Des. Beautiful swim.
Yeah, it's your classic barbel peg. What actually you've got, although that looks quite deep, it isn't.
Down this inside, yeah.
It isn't deep. What actually happens is, there's a bit of a bar down the centre there, and early on, you can catch a couple of fish there. But you catch a couple of fish, bonus billies, and then they'll move across to the snags. Found a snag, you found a barbel. Just in the bay, you see the bay, the back of that snag, that's all clear. You can put another bait straight in there.
Big
right?
Beautiful. There's a few lurking out there.
Well, what you've got is about 300 yards down there you got shallows, and about 500 yards up there you got shallows. In between, you got a heap of barbel. One thing, be very careful. As soon as you hook into a barbel, you'll know the chub, they'll come drifting across the current and head right for that tree. So just you don't, mate.
Get him out of there.
Just make sure you play him hard. If he ain't fighting very hard, pull him in, because he's a chub. It's acting a bit dopey, and he'll go straight into that tree. He'll fool you. He'll fool you.
Not that dopey.
I've been sitting here now about an hour, and that's about the time that, if I'm doing a day session, it's an hour to 2 hours before I go in. And I've now gone in the water. I've got 2 rods in. I can sort of start to gauge where the fish are. I'm just starting to feed as well now. My rod's in, and you'll see by liners or little touches where the fish are.
All set up and settled into my swim, taking Des's advice and not sort of gone in rushing, making casts and actually fishing. Just fed a few boilies, a few 10 millers down the centre, and a little bit of bait over the back. I'll probably switch over there in a couple of hours from now. Looking a little bit quiet, we haven't seen any chub or anything roll, and Des has been fishing for about half an hour and hasn't had any taps or knocks, but yeah, feeling really optimistic. River looks great, let's get a rod out. Not really the start I was after. Certainly got the bite, but almost immediately it's done me in that big far bank snag. In fairness, the cast was quite close. Obviously got the bite, but I think I'm going to back away from it a little bit now, try and draw the fish out rather than ultimate danger fishing. But yeah, sort of off the mark. Let's get a rod back out there and hopefully it'll wrap round again quite quickly.
I've been here for about just short of 2 hours now, and without any indications, without any signs of any fish. Now, if I was fishing a big fish water, that wouldn't worry me. If there's only a couple of fish, then, you know, indications wouldn't bother me. But on this river, there's a lot of barbel, and there's 2 shallows, probably about a mile apart, and some of these fish will migrate up and down, and it seems to me as though I've got no fish in this area at the moment. So what I'm going to do, quite regularly when the river's this low, the fish will drop down towards the shallows, on top of the shallows, in slightly deeper water where the food would be gathering. There's lots of food coming into the river now with all these leaves being blown off. So I would expect indications, and I'm having no indications at all. So what I'm going to do is move down there now. Got ourselves a barbel.
Result, Des.
Oh, yeah.
Quick move and almost immediately.
Well, there was no indications, Alan, on the... You've lost one up there, haven't you?
I have. But again, I had nothing down the centre. No indications, no tangs, twangs.
On a bad day like this, when it's clear, sometimes they can just be on the snags, and that's it, mate. But look at that. It's not a monster,
Beautiful
mate.
fish.
But a lovely, lovely barbel. Look at that. Beautiful fish.
Average size or under?
Oh,
average?
no, that's under average size for
really?
you. Way under average
Wow.
size, yeah. I'd say the average size is about 6. This is about 4, but... Classic barbel.
Yeah.
You know, they don't get any better. They get bigger, but they don't get any better.
The backdrop for it.
Oh.
Well done, you.
Yeah, there you go. A perfect River Severn barbel.
I'm going to leave you to get it back. I know you want to get your rod back out because there could be a few more of them out there, and as I've just lost one, I think I'm going to sit tight for a little while, see if there's any more.
Oh, you'll get another take, Alan, that's for sure.
Well done, you.
Knowing you.
See you in a little bit.
Catch you in a bit, mate. These fish, they fight so hard, they're absolutely shattered by the time you land them, and by the time you took a quick couple of photographs, then they're really, really tired. And the worst thing you can do is actually just put them straight into the water. Just make sure they're upright and then wait a few minutes before you let them go, and then just put them back, easy enough. Just let them go. And that's it, away she goes, look. And she'll be able to swim right out into the flow, no problem at all. I need to keep my eyes on those tips because I'm sure it'll go over again. It always is kind to me, the River Severn. You know, from when I first started fishing it as a young man, it's been really kind to me. You know, when right up the top end of the Severn there, at, you know, up past the Carsues, etc. I've had huge grayling, just short of 3.5 pound. Further down the river, I've had sort of 6 pound chub and 13 pound barbel and near 4 pound perch. And then right down through the you know, before the tidal, I've had big roach. I've had lots of big roach, just short of 3 pound, 213. And then right on the tidal, you know, I've had huge zander up to 1811, which is incredible fishing. You know, it's so diverse, and the terrain's so diverse. You know, the bottom end of the Severn, you've got deep, wide water, and right up the top end, you've got shallow glides and typical grayling and trout water. And it's just fantastic, and that's the reason I've bought Alan here. You know, I think, you know, on the right day, you know, it's as good as guaranteed as you're going to get. But, you know, not always. Even on a river like this, it's low and clear. I put Alan in in a real good swim. Alan's an excellent angler, he should get fish, but hey, it ain't always guaranteed, and we'll see how he gets on. But one thing's for sure, he'll have a nice day on the Severn, that's for sure. The one thing I'll never ever tire of is the fight of a barbel. That's £1.75 right the way through, and it's probably another fish, probably about £3 or £4. Look at this, right to the water level. Look at that. Whoa. There you go. They may get bigger, but they don't get any better. That's a perfect middle Severn barbel. Sleek, made for fighting. Look at those barbels. Long barbels, big pecks, powerful tail. Beautiful fish. A lot of people spend a lot of hours trying to catch these and succeeded, and you can see why. The beautiful environment and the fight they give you. Is there anything better?
As you can see, tackle wise, well, basically I'm using carp gear. Okay, not your sort of distance carp fishing equipment, but these rods, for example, I use them on the commercial waters, small lakes, surface fishing, same for the reels really. 10-pound line, I've got my bite alarms to act as rod rests. Yeah, in effect, I'm carp fishing on a river, but for barbel. The barbel's quite similar, it snaffles around on the bottom looking for food, sucking bits in, spitting bits out. So yeah, I suppose as a carp angler, I see no reason why really from time to time you can't go and do a bit of barbel fishing. There's a multitude of rivers across the country where you could go and do this. You know, and barbel are pretty widespread now, and yeah, small ones, £2–3, but they can get really, really large, you know, and when you hook a fish of that sort of size in one of these big rivers, you know, you really know about it. So you need sort of almost scaled down carp gear to land them anyway. Terminal tackle wise, yeah, I'm fishing with a running lead, a long mono hook link, twister hook, and boilies. So it really is carp fishing, but just for a different species. I love doing this style of fishing because sometimes in carp fishing you can get caught up in taking a lot of gear with you, potentially thinking you have to do weekends or even weeks at a time, whereas a barbel session, come down the river, beautiful environment, few hours fishing, it's very active, recasting all the time, and yeah, you can't beat it really. A little bit slow at the moment, but I've just had a wander upstream, and yeah, there's a nice little beachy area. I've put a little bit more bait out. I'm going to give it another hour in here, but then take a wander up there and see if we can get my first fish.
Lots of anglers ask me why I use boilies instead of pellets. Well, the reason is that most people are catching less on this river now, and they're all using pellet. So I decided to use something different, and I started using boilies. And having caught now 750, 800 barbel over the last 2 years, I think it's proved that, you know, it's caught a lot of fish. The boilie I'm using at the moment is TG Active. And I bait up with the 10mm and I put a 15mm on the hair. The smaller ones attract everything. I'm pretty sure it attracts roach, chub, everything. If you look here, I've not only got the TG Actives, I've also got the key crane here. And what I'm doing is, as I'm baiting up, I'm using the key. I'm not using it on the hook, I'm just baiting up with the TG Active. So in other words, when the TG Active starts to get blown, when they start to get afraid of it, and they will, just like any other bait, I can then switch over to something that they've been feeding on for months on end, and there it'll be the key. And as they say, the proof's in the pudding. Today we've got a really, really clear river, really low, fishing very, very hard. But on the boilies, I've still had 3 barbel, all on the TG Active, all fished over a bed of 10 mils.
Gotcha.
There we go. The 4th one of the day. Slightly better. Hey, on a hard day, they're all great to catch. Beautiful fish. And the fight, even from a fish this size, which is not a monster, you saw it then, bending the scopes double. That's as good as it gets. Well, that for me is really the end of the day. It's getting towards dusk. I'm gonna reel in and I'm gonna go up to Alan and see how he's done. It's been a magic day. I mean, this has been the classic October day.
Even after a change of swims, still got nothing to report. I think I might have had one tiny little tap, but yeah, it's really quiet. The leaves are still coming down. My leads are getting dragged in and out of snags, and I've been broken off. Well, let's put it this way, I've done a whole pack of hooks now. But I've had a lovely time. Des has caught some beautiful fish. Probably got about an hour left. Dusk is starting to set in. Still feeling confident. This is the proper witching hour, so fingers crossed.
All we need now is Alan to catch one and say ta-ra.
Ta-ra.
That's the ta-ra part done.
Well, I was just saying to Des, I love moments like this. I love it when it's been really challenging, difficult, you've had to work hard, think about what you're doing, accurate casting, little tweaks to the rig, and eventually it has gone round and I've connected with one. Yes!
Never have many people fish so hard for so long to catch a barbel, but that is well deserved.
Yeah. Thank you, Des. What a great day.
Pleasure, pleasure, pleasure.
Well, it's come good in the end. Finally managed to bank one myself. You've had four lovely barbel.
Yeah, beauties.
Nah, really, really great day. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Kept things simple, light carp gear, boilies. Job's a good one.
Absolutely. I'm more pleased with that one than a 12-pounder, mate, because you fished well and you've eventually got one, mate, because it's been a very, very difficult day on a venue you know nothing about.
No, first time and hopefully not the last. I'd love to come back and have another go with you one day.
Welcome anytime, mate.
Thank you, Des.